Let me unmute the microphone. Well, how's that? Maybe that'll work. How is everybody doing this evening? So we're about to get started on part 3 of the JMRI operations. So I'll go over to my Panel Pro, click on the Panel Pro icon to open it up. Once again, operations on my main menu, so I will open it. Now we've gone through settings and locations. This evening, we're going to go through entering your cars into JMRI. So I'm going to click on the cars menu. So this is going to be a pretty good tutorial, and I don't even think it will take as long as it did, entering locations. Um, so you'll notice down here when I first open it up, it says 0 cars. I'm just going to click the add button. It's as simple as that. And once I click the add button, I enter the road, first of all, road number, its type of car, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, with this box car here. And you know what? Let me just zoom the camera a little bit. I think that'll be better. So I'm going to start off with a KCS box car, of course. All right. So real easy. Click on add car, and the first thing you enter is the road number. And there's a lot that comes preloaded. Not everything's preloaded, but a lot of them are. So I'm going to scroll down, or I can type K, and then KCS happens to pop up because it's what's in the list first. So, or only. All right, I'm going to put in the road number, which this is 1710. And then what type of car it is. It's a box car. Real easy. Now, this is where I told you we can edit car types. So you notice this car type, it's a box car, obviously, but I can click the edit and actually add various car types. And, maybe we'll do that in just a little while, right? So when we do another car, we'll edit the car types. All right, so box car, it's not one of those. Now the length. So everyone, you probably know the length of your car is 50 feet, or they're 60 feet, or they're 40 feet, but I'm going to actually measure mine from coupler to coupler. And I'm doing that on purpose. The reason why is I want to make sure I get an accurate length for JMRI to know how many cars I can have on a track. Remember, we put in the length of the track, and so we always want to have an accurate length on our cars. Now, if you want to use just 50 foot as the standard for your 50-foot box cars, that's great. So I am going to measure actually from coupler to coupler instead of just the length of the car. So, and I measure from the center coupler to the center of the coupler. And this one is 7, I'll say 7¼ inch. So it's going to be, of course, 7.25, which is a 50-foot car, I believe. Just in case, this is one of those places where you can't really enter the length in inches, so you actually have to know the car length. So 7.25. First, I multiply that by 12, or I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. 7.25 inches is the actual length. All right. So you're going to multiply that by the HO scale, which is 87.1. And that equals 631 inches, 0.475. So to know the number of feet, of course, I'm just going to divide it by 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot. And look at that, 52.6 inches. So really it's a 52-foot boxcar. All right, so what I want to do is the length of my boxcar. I'm going to look at the drop down and see if 52's in there, and it's already in there. So that's what I'm going to select. All right, location. Um, I can put a location if I want to. I don't have to at this point. I am, just to show you though, I'm going to say it's in Alexandria Yard. And one of the tracks I input, let's put track 1 there. Okay. So this was track 1. So now the program knows, and this is why you enter tracks before you enter your cars. So you can tell the program where you're putting your car on your layout. Okay, so that car is in Alexandria Yard, track 1. Weight. This gives you the car's weight, uh, whatever the standard is. I have actually put extra weights in there. I've put 2 extra ounces. So this car is probably right around 6 ounces. Now you don't have to enter this weight, but I'm going to anyway. Uh, all right, so it's it's this. I better check the Autobot. Uncheck it. 6.0. Huh, keeps going back to 4 fixed. Okay, so like I said, we're learning together here. So if I hit the calculate button, what it does, it tells me how much this car should weigh according to NMRA standards, and that is 4.6 ounces. Perfect. Okay, good. So I'm just going to leave it at that right now. It's not that important. Um, that you know the exact ounces, precisely. Um, I'm sure at some point in the program it uses it to calculate how many engines you need on or how many locomotives you need in a consist to pull a certain length of train, um, which is fine. I mean, put it in there if you want, but I I don't really need to. My trains are going to be limited to about 15 cars, so yeah. All right, so I've put 6 ounces in there, just for argument's sake. All right, color, it's brown. It's a brown boxcar. Right now, I'm just going to leave the load as empty. Okay. Kernel, don't even worry about that. Okay. The year it was built. If you want to put that on there, you don't have to put that on there. Mine says, if I can even read it, 62. So I can put the year built if I want. That is not going to make one bit of difference to the program, believe me. All right, owner. Uh, Kansas City Southern happens to be the owner of this car, so I ain't worried about that either. And I can put a comment. Now, all I got to do is click Add Car and save if I want to close the screen. There we go. So now let's look at my list. So in my list of cars, here it is. 1710. It's a 52-foot box car. It's in Alexandria Yard. There you go. That's all I need to do. All right, let's add again. Okay, this time I'm going to add a chemical tank car. So I've got this Atlas Dow chemical tank car. So the road is DOWX. So let's see if the road is actually in the program. All right, so DOWX is not in this program. So what I need to do is to the right where of the road name, I click Edit, and I add DOWX. So I type in DOWX, click the add. There it is. Now you'll see that it's in the drop down. And there it is. Okay, the road number is 4747. This is a tank car. So I have tank food, tank gas, tank kerosene, tank oil, tank vegetable. I want to separate out my tank cars, and because I want chemical tank cars to go to certain locations that oil tank cars don't. So once again, under the type, I'm just going to click the edit button. And I'm just going to do tank, chem, and click add. Add new type of car to service? Yes. Okay, when I do that, the track list window pops up and say, oh, do you want to say that this type of tank car can go to various tracks on your railroad? And I can do clear all, select all. I'm just going to do select all. I don't want it anywhere on my Alexandria spur. Don't need it there. In the yard, not in the caboose track. Not on 10 North, because remember, that's my trailer on flat car, my piggyback track. I don't need it to go to any of these industries. And I surely don't need it to go to my diesel facility or store it on my record track. Do I want it in my cement plant? Absolutely. There can be chemicals used for cement and also asphalt, which I'm going to have there. So, paper mill, absolutely. Switching track, no, because I told my switching track was 0 length, so I'm not going to put it there. But all my other tracks I want to. All right. So that's great. When you add a new car type, your location window pops up and says, hey, do you want the car to be able to be stored on these various tracks at various locations? And you just choose which ones. So I'm going to click save. Okay. And then close that. And I can close this. And I've got, I don't need it, sorry. I already saved it. So I just close this window now. This is going to go down to T, tank, chem. That's the one I want. All right, now what's the length? Okay, and like I said, this is what I'm doing. You don't have to measure your individual cars if you know the length, or if you just want to use, say on the box it said it's a 50-foot box car, then you can use that. All right, so I am going to measure from knuckle to knuckle, and this is 7 3/4 inches. Okay. Pull my handy dandy calculator up again. 7.75, because that's 3/4 of an inch, times your HO scale, which is 87.1, equals, so in scale inches, that's what it really is, 675 inches. Now I'm going to divide that by 12 because I want to get it into feet. And so that's 56 feet. Okay? So this tank car is 56 feet long from knuckle to knuckle. So is that in my list? Oh, no, it's not. 54 is. So let me just edit my length. 5.6, add, and close that. And now 5.6 is going to be in my length. There we go. Okay, because a lot of times your tank cars will just come with a gallon size, like it'll say 20,000 gallon tank car, and it'll never tell you the scale feet. So I imagine this is probably a 54-foot tank car. Uh, if it's measured over the strikers instead of knuckle to knuckle. So, but I'm just going to leave it at 56. Okay, where do I want to put it? Location, I'm going to put it in Alexandria Yard. And the reason I'm putting things over here is just to keep them straight. I could put them anywhere, but I'm putting them over here to go, hey, I've already entered them into JMRI, so now they go over there. Alexandria Yard, track 1, and I will keep putting on track 1 till I fill it up. And that's actually a fairly heavy car. I think they're probably a little bit overweight. Probably should have brought my scale out, but I'm not too worried, like I said, about the weight. Okay. Color of it's white. I just saw a color called Tuscan. Have no idea what that's. Probably a yellowish or brownish or something. I have no idea what Tuscan is. Maybe it's red. Okay, so is it loaded or empty now? Right now, I'm just going to say everything's empty. So I can go back in and, of course, change those later. Okay, owner. Do I want to set an owner? No, it's DOWX. We know it's Dow Chemical owns the tank car. So click add car. You can see that it pops up in my list. Okay, so I'm going to add one more car in here just to show you a different car, and that's a caboose. Let me get it over here in the camera. Okay, so I'm going to add my caboose in now. So the caboose is KCS, obviously, because that's my road I'm modeling. What's the road number on it? 381. Let me check the caboose box. There we go. And you can also check what car type it is down here, passenger caboose, and also if it has a flashing rear end device on it, if you want to check that. Utility or if it's hazmat too. And your tank cars probably, if they were filled with certain things, would be hazmat. Now, what's the length of my caboose? Have no idea. Let's go in here and measure it. It's exactly 6 inches. And I know this seems kind of tedious, but this is just because I'm a tedious kind of guy. 6 times HO scale, 87.1, and whatever scale you're working in, if it's in scale, you multiply it by 160 or thereabouts. So 522.6 inches, divide that by 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot. So this is actually 43.5 inches long. Okay. So I imagine there's a 42 in there, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to say 42 for my caboose. Okay, location Alexandria Yard, but actually I'm going to put this on the caboose track. How about that? And here's my caboose track. So there you go. Load, empty, blah, blah. Let's see. Let's go back up. Remember these scroll bars on the side. So the color, red. Okay, the rest of it, year built, owner, had car. There we go. So now you can see my caboose is here in my list. You know what? I'm going to add one more car because I want to show you something. If I can find one. And I don't know if I can find one or not. Of course, it's never around when you want it. Let me go to the other side of the layout and show you a car I want to add, why I want to add it. So, um, of course, when you really want something, you don't have it. And that's what's happened in this case. Okay, so what I was going to show you is something like this. I'll just use this boxcar as an example. This boxcar it's got a USLX reporting mark on it, okay? So, but you'll notice the road is St. Regis. All right, if you can see that. So I'm going to take this boxcar and enter it in here, and let's see if I've got USLX in here. UOCX? No, USLX is not in here, so that's good. We'll give you another chance to edit the road list. Edit USLX, add. All right. So I'm going to add USLX in here. The road number is 11013. It's definitely not a caboose. It is a boxcar. Length. This is probably another 52 footer. So we got 7 1/4 there. So I'm going to go with 54 again, just like the other KCS boxcar, because it was about the same length. Or I'm sorry, 52 feet. Okay, I'm going to put it in Alexandria Yard, and I'm going to put it on track 1. All right, so, but I do want to add an owner, okay? Because all those, this is a leased boxcar. St. Regis is the railroad on it. So I'm going to click the edit the owner list and put in St. Regis, add. So now I can pick St. Regis for my drop-down list. Okay, and then go back up here, make sure I put in that this is a blue boxcar. There we go. So now I'm going to put this on track 1, click add car. There you see it comes up in my list. It not only has the St. Regis road name, but also the company it's leased from, which is USLX. Perfect. So we've put in 4 cars now, and it's just that simple. Close my, I'm going to save my list just in case. Operations, cars, click the add button, and everything pops up that you need to enter. And let me just stretch this screen out a little bit and hide me. All right. So once I have cars in here, I can just come in here and edit them. and that's all I need to do. I can change anything I want. Uh, set car. So what if I want to set the car? What I can do is I return when empty location, a return when loaded location. So I can tell it basically where to go on the layout. You know, when it's loaded, where does it need to go? And that'll help JMRI actually generate manifest for you. So when it's empty, return it to one of these places and whatever track I want to pick. And of course, empty. When it's loaded, okay, it's loaded on Alexandria Spur, uh, at Shattuck Feed and Grain. You know, there we go. Now, normally set by program destination and all, final destination you can put in. I'm not going to worry about these right now. It's not necessary to do this. You can also, though, use this set car uh, to put something out of service, or if you've lost it. And hopefully you don't lose your cars. But if you have to take it out of service for some reason to work on it, you could set that way the program won't end up putting the car in a manifest for a train. Okay. All right. So all you do is click the add button if you want something new. Information pops up, you fill it in. That's all you got to do. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. A good question I got from Steve 87 PSAP, and go over, make sure you watch his channel. He's got good stuff going on. I think he's doing a scratch build right now for Jack's challenge. I believe that's what's going on. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. So, but Steve asked, how am I accessing JMRI? So I have my JMRI loaded on my laptop. It's a standalone program. It doesn't interface with anything on the web. You can interface it with your engines, so you can set CVs and stuff like that. But that's and switches, you know, and all that kind of stuff. You can do all that. But as far as accessing it, it is standalone on your computer. You can load it on a PC or a Mac. So when you go to the download page for JMRI, I think it even goes on Linux too. So you can download it to your computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC, um, and doesn't matter if it's a laptop or a desktop. You know, so you can download it, and it's all run right there. And you know, any fairly modern laptop will run it. I believe it even still runs in Windows 7, if I'm not mistaken. I have Windows 10 on this laptop, but I believe it'll still install on Windows 7. I haven't tried that, so I don't know for sure. Uh, but anyway, that's it. Like I said, it's a standalone program on your computer. Downloads at jmri.org, and you just pick which version you need to download. So that's it. All right. Once again, visit my Teespring store. And if anybody has any questions, be sure and put them in the comments for me, and I'll be glad to answer them if I can. Thanks, and y'all have a great evening.